Super. We still have to go live, but good morning to you. Hope you'll have a nice morning, whether you're Helsinki, Stockholm, or Copenhagen, or in any other cities of those countries, or any other cities in the countries of those cities. How are you guys?
Super, thanks.
Cool.
Sun is shining. We have got to have an excellent webinar and so on, so no worries there.
I'm also fresh with this last week events, and I had two days or 2 nights in a row sauna, so I felt like a good relaxing kind of this pre-summer sauna experience.
Okay, so great place to start.
Yes.
But hey, 2 minutes, get a fresh cup of coffee, tea, or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever is your choice, but we'll start in 2 minutes.
It's true. Annika, do you have some before webinar ceremonies that you do?
Yeah.
Like at home, like some relaxation or some specific food?
You should have.
Yeah. I heard like Selene also always had, like he was always having what is it, this pasta bolognese on the game day. Always pasta bolognese. And imagine his career length, so that must be quite a bit of pasta.
Yeah.
But hey, I think in a few seconds the clock is turning 10. I think we can go ahead and start. I'll just show the topics, and then we get most of us on board while we are rolling. So today the theme is, again, agents are coming, and basically why this theme is important. We're covering the situation that we see in the market, how the agents can be managed in your environments. What about identities? Do agents have identities? How they should be looked at? And maybe some experiences from the past of overall management and governance of the IT solutions. So what we have learned from the past. And along we will have some demos as well, which is really nice. So it's not all talking.
Yeah, and of course, just a quick note that we also have a few polls. Yes. So we are asking a few questions from you. So a few polls coming up, and if you have any questions, comments, we also have a chat open. So if we have time at the end of this presentation, we also take a look at those, at what questions do you have. So please feel free to enter those questions whenever we're going to have a look at them in the end of this webinar.
Super. And you all, of course, will see the poll responses as well, which is typically quite useful to see how other organizations are doing. But hey, a quick introduction. Annika, a few words about yourself.
Yes, I'm Annika, and I work as a Microsoft 365 consultant in Innofactor. And this is my first webinar, so
welcome.
Yes,
exciting.
But it's good you have a lengthy background in M365 and SharePoint consulting. So good experience, and happy to get you in the broadcast. So Janne.
Janne Nevalainen, being in a few webinars before, so not my first ride, but yeah, Janne Nevalainen from Innofactor, been working in IT for 25 years and seen a bit of this technology change in the years, and I have to say that we are living in the most interesting times of my IT history, because things are changing so fast. And and today's topic, agents, governance, and so on, are of course something that I do with the customers.
Oh, super. And my name is Risto Lahi, working in Innofactor around 9 years now. Quite many projects, so most of my time goes in building agents with our team, and of course we do some consultation for organizations as well. I think last time we were on Monday, and then on Tuesday with their customers as well. But hey, let's go forward. So why this topic is important? We really hear and see this in practice. So the agent explosion is underway, And it's important to understand the agents is not quite the same as the typical AI chatbots that, you type something in, you get something out. They actually accomplish things. And I typically like to think of them like you don't say what to do, but you point what to achieve, and then they achieve that. And it's like the projects are really much underway. So 54% of the Nordic organizations are experimenting at least. And like our team, like any agent or AI capabilities we have built for our customers, all are in production, which of course I'm really, really proud of. So yeah, so agents are a real thing.
Yeah, and if you think that Microsoft Work Trend Index 26 was released at the beginning of this month, if I remember correctly. So if you don't know what it is, it's a yearly take on what is going on the modern working area. So it's a Microsoft study that they do, and it was interesting to read how things have been changing in a year. And yeah, there was like use of agents had been exploded. Was it 15 times if you compare it to the last year's study? But of course, we didn't have so much agents last year, for example, in Microsoft 365. But yeah, agents are, well, they're not coming. Actually, they are already here. So of course, this is really important topic to discuss today about agents.
Yeah, and I believe the studies also say by 2028 we'll have like 1.8 billion agents around. So it is real explosion, I would say. But what's the challenge there? So in one way, if you think that when the team members or people are experimenting at home, at work, in test environments, it is pretty cool to show and kind of look at the capabilities. So the capabilities are there, but that comes, a moment where we are taking them in production, and then it's actually quite many other things that we need to take into consideration. How safe they are, what kind of access they have, how many we have them in our organizations, and so forward. But let's first look like where agents come from. So from which kind of sources? Obviously, we are mostly working with Microsoft ecosystem, but there are other tools as well. But if we look on the M365 and Agent environment, so Agent Builder on the left side, that's the place where our end user can make his or her agents. Typically, I would for your own use and maybe for a small team. So something it's not meant for the big enterprise use. You don't have like really connections there or connectors to other tools. You can do multi-agent orchestration. In Copilot Studio, that's already like this prosumer or let's say developer tool as well. I would say if you have more technical person in a not technical team, maybe Copilot Studio would suit as well for that person. So you can do their very sophisticated agents. And what is important in those two, actually, you can prompt. So creating an agent is really not that difficult anymore necessarily. Of course, when it gets more complicated, then it's a lot of like know-how that goes there into the connectors and MCPs and so forth.
Yeah, and I think what was the year that you said? 2028.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It's not that far, but of course things are going in such speed that I think that when we get there, creating agents is not a thing in the basic level. Actually, it's not anymore even today. If we think about Microsoft 365 agents, you can just say that, hey, would you do this kind of thing for me, for example. But of course, I think that 28 we still have found like really advanced agents that do the heavy lifting. But the farther we go in time, I think that the most common tasks can be done just by asking that, hey, I need a coworker agent that can do something for me. So I think that is something that's the technology advances, the easier it gets for everybody to do. You don't need to know coding, for example, anymore.
That's correct.
And me as a SharePoint expert, there is also a SharePoint agent, so you can do the agent in SharePoint also.
That's correct. And so maybe it's actually a good kind of segue. So if we look at where the agents are built and like what kind of people are building, then here you see like the low-code AI app developers, data analysts. There's this Fabric, you can build agents there. So maybe SharePoint is good example. And existing SaaS, whatever you have, typically they tend to have capabilities like, let's say, ERP from Microsoft Business Central. You can build agents there as well.
Or they are integrated into technology, like SharePoint, for example.
Teams.
Yeah. So
it's a feature, not an agent.
Yes.
Yeah. And I typically say that these SaaS solutions that you have, that take into use those capabilities because these are the ones you kind of pay already for. It's included in your SaaS in that service. But let's have actually a poll now. So quick second, I'll activate. So first, this kind of overall situation. Would you please respond? Where is your organizations currently with AI agent adoption? And this will be very interesting for you to see what others have replied as well.
Yeah.
So
these are really interesting topics to see how the things are going in different organizations.
Yeah. What I noticed actually, like visiting companies and talking to the management board, is the variety of maturity organizations have. So it seems like there's really big differences. Some orgs are quite far, and then some are like just about to experiment. And very often it is kind of because of these Microsoft calls frontier employees that are kind of driving the change, not necessarily from the management.
Yeah.
So
and that was actually, I think, if you read the work trend index, so I think this was an interesting change in 25 and 26 report, because the 25 report discussed a lot about frontier firms, like companies going to the frontier and embracing all the AI capabilities. But this year's report was more like frontier workers who are willing to do the advanced AI, but the company does hold back things. So I think that was really interesting, that now it has turned more like into that the companies haven't been keeping up in the pace.
Yeah, that's the bottleneck now.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah.
So here I show the results. So what we are seeing here, of course, to take into context, the people who have, I think, enrolled to this webinar are most probably the ones who are having pilots as well. So it is this team maybe doesn't resonate so much if you haven't built anything and you're not experimenting at all. So 59% feel the pilot projects are ongoing. Then like aren't using, and several agents in production have. Interesting finding as well. Yeah, and nobody feels that they are ahead of the curve.
Unless it's that all is dandy.
Yeah, all is dandy.
I'm pretty sure that if we have any CISOs here, then they definitely wouldn't put that option, that all is just fine and dandy, because there has been lots of discussion about, of course, agent security. That is, of course, important thing to notice, and compliance.
All right.
But hey, thank you. Really interesting insights.
Yeah. So again, what we want to underline is that the new ratio is coming. It is one person and many agents. I feel this at least in really frontier companies, but also I think it's realistic in other companies as well in the future. So we just have to get ready for that, and then comes the question how this and who will manage this. So I kind of feel typically organizations where the complicated technical things are pushed for IT, they feel like, oh, well, this is something, let's IT manage that. But the challenge is that the agents now are being built by and or for the business.
Yeah, and yeah, so I have been in the field for the 25 years, and so I jumped into the IT wagon in the early 2000s, and it's interesting how the things have been changing. So back then, basically, if it had power, it was kind of a headache of IT, starting from VCR recorders and so on. There were also some situations that we were asked, hey, could IT fix this? But IT was mostly seen at that time as a necessary stuff. But now that the things have been advancing nowadays, IT is part of business. It's not anymore IT's problem to do stuff, and I think that it's more and more of business decisions to do IT innovations rather than hey, IT can just fix this. AI and agents is definitely something that isn't just IT's responsibility. It's a business responsibility.
It is, and also like we showed you, the tools to create them are for average people as well. So you can build them with low-code, no-code tools. So IT doesn't necessarily know or give permission, or generally aren't available or aware that these are built every time. And yeah, so and the challenge there is, of course, because the agents can access the company data, they can operate, do certain tasks that they are kind of created for without that you explicitly prompt it to do. So their ownership is in many organizations, unfortunately, a bit unclear. And I would typically say that the business owns. So it's not the IT's responsibility only, but of course, certain things IT is more aware of. Like,
yeah, and of course, IT needs to be part of the plan and decisions, of course. But it's not just anymore that hey, IT takes care of this.
Exactly.
Yeah, because more and more the IT is backbone of business. So of course the business needs to be also. Of course, we must not forget the IT also in the background.
And when it comes to the governance, we shouldn't think of it like a just roadblock or challenge that slows us down. We shouldn't think, okay, because legal requires this and that, and then there is the AI Act and these type of things that are important as well. We should think of governance that we create a framework that enables us to utilize these capabilities more effectively. So if you have that in order, I think it's easier to kind of go forward with the agent deployments in the future. But hey, now I think without further ado, so Jan, I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah, maybe a few notes on agent governance. Let me just jump here so I don't have to click far away. But yeah, few things noting this agent governance. So maybe this was something that you also already kind of showed in different way. But yeah, if we think about different types of agents that we have, how the users see that. For example, if we think about end users, usually it's a no-code agent. So, for example, can create an agent just by prompting it to the Microsoft 365 Copilot that, hey, I need some agent to read this SharePoint site or something. Then, of course, if we go forward in advancement, we are starting to discuss about the business IT developers. Well, the low-code would be the next step. So, for example, Copilot Studio, still pretty low-term stuff, but you can get quite advanced in Copilot Studio.
Very advanced.
Yeah, very advanced. But if we go to the Pro code, that would this be very, very advanced?
Yes.
Yeah. So Microsoft hyper advanced AI. So Microsoft found those in that case. So we kind of have different levels that we are using agents. And if we think about the perspective on agents of different areas, so if we on the top left on the end users, well, most of the question is that, okay, how can I make this daily work more easier? How can I save time? And usually I think these are the most of the questions that businesses ask, that how individual more done more quickly. But I think that we are more and more going to the top right corner, that business impact, that okay, how does the business benefit from these agents? How the business can be more effective, not just the users, but the whole business can be more effective. And I think this is the Copilot Studio discussion, for example.
Yeah, I think 1 year ago we were there quite in a situation where, let's say, many organizations thought that they didn't really believe in the technology that much because, to be frank, the maturity wasn't there.
Yeah, this is so. Of course, it takes time to adapt. Yeah,
with coming of tools like co-work and also these OpenClaw and these other agents that are there, wild and free in the world. So the capability is not questioned anymore.
Yeah. This is not anymore a hype or trend. This is a technological shift. So, and I'm pretty sure that this is when we go a few years ahead. This is using AI is just as using internet or cloud solutions today.
Yeah.
But still, in the past years, they were also. For example, I remember on the early 2000s, there was discussion to use this email stuff. Nobody questions that anymore. So I think this is just one more loop in the IT revolution. But yeah, but if we go to the bottom, so what usually, if you discuss about with IT about the using agents, using AI, is of course that okay, is this secure? Is this some threat IT environment? How can we manage this stuff more efficiently? Okay, users can do agents, but of course there needs to be some management. How can we be sure that the agents do, but and nothing else? And of course, governance, policies, integrations. How's the technical side of that? And if we got the bottom right corner, at the worst, these agents can cause sleepless nights for CISOs, for example. That okay, what can the agents do? What data can they access? Do they export data to some external sources, for example? And how the compliance and auditability is in these technologies?
I really feel sorry for information security people nowadays, because I know there's a lot of pressure coming from many sides of organizations, and they need to kind of keep the order somehow, as they are responsible for information security. So it's a tough spot.
Yeah, I think the past years haven't been kind of in this area. For example, rising cybersecurity, we are more and more interconnected with cloud solutions. Now we have agents and so on. So things are moving so fast that this is really hard to keep up to. But yeah, good thing is that nowadays we are starting to have really good management tools. When, for example, Microsoft 365 Copilot was launched, there was really little amount of different tools that you could use. So it was kind of in the wild when you used Copilot, but nowadays we start to have lots of different stuff. For example, if we take a quick round here, is that okay, Agent 365, that's the newest and hottest right now. Annika is going to have a little demo soon about this, but Agent 365 is of course really important nowadays. Needs a separate license, good to know. But for example, Power Platform Admin gives us some insights on the agents. Nowadays, Copilot Control Plane, well, it's kind of a fancy way to say that you have lots of different tools in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. But yeah, now we have centralized tool to use Copilot, for example. Entra ID has different stuff that you can use. I have a little demo on that. Defender Purview, of course, also tools. Defender is a security. Purview is for and what is nice is that these tools discuss with each other, so you can get the whole view on your organization. And at the bottom is, of course, Azure AI Management. Well, this is a little bit different. So now you are in the Foundry level stuff. So it's a different management plane. But if we think about this mundane, everyday task that we are doing, usually it is this that we are using this. But speaking of subject, I think that Annika, you had some really cool stuff
Yes.
to show us. So let's get around and let's have a look at what is this Agents 365 that has been just launched.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So Microsoft published Agent 365 1st of June. So it's been working there like 1 month. So it's kind of new. You can find Agent 65 in Microsoft 365 Admin Center, the Agent panel. Some of you may know this already, so it's been changed now a little bit. So okay, the main thing in Agent 365 is that it brings all agents, the HOs, control and managing the same place. So like Janne showed, there is many places to see and control the agents, but now they all are here in the same place. So you don't have to go to the Purview or Entra or Power Platform Admin Center anymore. You just go to Agent 365. And yeah, in overview, we can see the total number of the agent in your organizations.
And this quite often when they go in,
Yeah.
When they haven't looked at this, oh my God, we have that many. So this is what I mean also with explosion, like
Yes.
it is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe one quick note is that this actually you can see this Agents 365 in this admin center, even though you don't have the license for Agents 365.
Yeah.
But you don't see everything here that we can see because we have the product in use.
Like I said, some of you may know this agent panel already. So there is some hidden parts right now, and the hidden parts are we have the 65 features. We can see them now, but if you're wondering why there is some hidden parts, they are Agent 365. Like I think security risk is one of them, and agent runtime is one of them. So okay, there you can see the total number of agents in your organizations. You can see the active users last 1 day, week, month. I think they started to count this number after we activated our Agent 300 license.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
One user is probably me. And there is the agent runtime. And if there is some security risk with agents, we can see it here and we can react to them. And if there is an agent without owners, we can also see it here. It's a good at least one owner per agents. It's a security risk if there is agent without owners, and now we see if there is.
Yeah, and this is like you would say, okay, so yes, of course, Juha or Jürgen made an agent, he's the owner, but it's important to have the visibility. Soon you have so many agents, Juha, Jürgen might not be around in the company after 1.5 years time, and then it's bad to wake up to, if something is not working, okay, who is in charge, like, better to be prepared and have that visibility.
Yeah, that you're gonna leave the organization, but agents stay there. So it's good to have the new owner, but here's the place we can see if there is an agent without owners. So we can find those owners to do agents without owners. Okay, there is also, we can see if there is some errors with the agents conversations. This is my agent.
Okay.
Here I had an errors today, but you can react with the details of that. Then we have also the agent analytic tool here. We can see the agent by creators, by platforms used to build agent, active time, and trending agents by active users.
Yeah. So lots of information even in the overview pane.
Okay. As I said, Agent 365 brings all agents here. So there we have an agent registry. So we can see all your agents here in list, and you can customize this list as you please. Here we can show some information what we want to see. see over here. But there is all agents, the Copilot Studio agents, SharePoint agents, Azure Foundry agents, all are here. When we chose the angel, let's find my newest one that had those errors.
Yeah, better to look at that.
Yes, that's a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're her assistant. Yes.
Okay.
Opening that, we can see the agent details. There is some basic details. There is owner, there's instructions, and there is also identity number. Janne will talk about agent ID later, but there you can see the agent ID, because every agent will have the ID number. Yes, and there we can see the data sources, what the agent use. My agent can read the OneDrive files and the SharePoint files is used in the demo site.
Okay, yeah. So that is the data that this agent uses.
Yes, yes. And if the agent has some graph connection, you can see it also here. And Risto have something to say about these tools.
Yeah, it's Microsoft has been quite a bit talking about this work IQ, and it is really the layer, the intelligence layer within your system that brings to the user kind of more relevant information about the work, about the communication that he or she has had, or about the data as well that the user has access to. So you can see here in the tools that is available. Yes.
And this security window is new, so this brings information from Purveyor here.
Yeah, and let's just stop for a second here. So this is really interesting that because in the early days, aka 2 months ago, you had to kind of jump in different tools to show or find stuff. But if you manage Microsoft 365, you know that this is kind of one ecosystem, connects everything, diverse devices, identity, compliance, security, and they give signals to each other, these different management tools. And it's really great to see that, for example, now Agent 365 brings, for example, Microsoft Purview protections here. So how Purview, for example, protects data in Microsoft 365 regarding this agent. So these are really important stuff to see, to show, to find. And yeah, this is one good example how the things are going on, that now we can see how Purview protects data using agents.
Yes. And we go almost see the permissions. There is entry permissions if you Azure API connections and over platform connections. And we are able to see the one agent's activity also here. I think this agent have much activity, but yeah.
Yeah, what a jump.
Yeah.
Did you do it a couple of days ago?
Yesterday. Yeah. Okay. I'm that kind of person that I understand things best when I actually see them like in a visual way. So my absolutely favorite part in Agent 365 is the agent map.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
this is great.
There you can like a visual way see your agent where they are. And if you have many agents, you have agents orchestration, you can see the connections between those agents here. We don't have many agent orchestration yet, but if you do, or you will have, you can see the lines between the agent here. But okay, you can scroll near to them.
Let's try the Copilot Studio one.
Yes. Copilot Studio, yes. Okay, we can scroll near to them, and there we can see all the Copilot Studio agents. There is a Risto's agent. That's my horror agent. When we open this, we can see the same details as in agent registry. But this is good way to
try to click the humanizer part.
Humanizer.
Text humanizer.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is easy way to find your agents if you don't like those big lists. For me, this is very, very, very good.
Yeah, at least for me also. So it's so much easier to kind of see how these agents are in technology way in the big picture.
Yes.
And it's just an endless list of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not the least, we are able to see some agents in your environment which have no control, and we call AI. So now we have a tool to see them, and there is some shadow AI which are ready, and this show us also which are coming. So opening them, we will see them, and we will have a control to them. We can set them some security policy, so we can block them if it's necessary.
Yeah, I think this is very important regarding compliance and security. So if you have been following the news on AI, I think the OpenClaw is one of the classics in the news. So that really capable of doing stuff, but also there has been quite horrible security errors regarding OpenClaw. So OpenClaw, the first one that Agent 365 can detect, but for example, there is other stuff coming such as Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, Olam, and Desktop. So basically, that shadow AI problem. So you can automatically detect kind of non-compliant AIs in your organization, and I'm that the OpenClaw shows 0 detected devices in our organization. That's good news.
It's not the same for every organization.
Yep.
I know cases where it has surfaced that people have used OpenClaw for testing company.
Yeah, and of course it's devices. Yeah, and of course it's really important to stay ahead of development, but of course do it in secure and compliant manner.
That's true. Yeah, I have an OpenClaw agent, but I have it on my home PC that is not connected to work environment at all.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yes. Okay, but I think that Microsoft Agent 365 may not offer much yet, but when the numbers of agents grow and when they get very complicated, I think this will be the number tool to control them.
Yeah, definitely. This is really important right now, but this is quite a fresh product, so this is something that I'm pretty sure is going to have a ton of features in this year alone.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Annika. So let's now jump to identity part. So
let's have a short discussion about the identity of the agents. So this is of course also really important thing to know that nowadays when we discuss about agents, they are not just some that are put into organization that they are doing some stuff, but more and more they are becoming the identities of themselves. They are like an AI worker doing the same stuff that, for example, a physical worker is doing. So AI agents are starting to be more and more active actors in background processes anymore. So, and if we think about that we showed, we had no code, low code, pro code. So of course it differs that in what level we are here. But if you go to the pro code side of things, agents can more and more make decisions. They can delegate stuff. They can log into system. They handle the confidential data. They create confidential data. And of course, with that identity, these workers, well, in the worst case scenario, they don't have any limits, what they can do, what rights they have. You don't have any audit trail. Okay, something changed, but who did what? And these are the same questions that you have in the human workers. Of course, you need to have user rights. You need to have some guardrails, audit trail that who did what. And this is exactly the same stuff in the agents. So these are identities that also need to manage and look after what they do.
And one thing I'd like to highlight here, the AI that we are using nowadays, it doesn't have moral compass like people do.
Yeah.
So they may actually created it correctly, but maybe there has been injection or something like that. That it's kind of AI something. Typically there are of course guardrails for that. So, but let's assume. So it is completely possible that AI will do something else that it was designed for.
Yeah, of course. If one person created it, then another person can bend it or break it.
Yeah.
For example, the God.
Yeah, I just actually did ask from one AI to that was meant for a business use, and I started to talk about Karelian pies and recipes, and it was very happy to talk about those things.
Hey, why? Everybody loves Karelian pies, so
very very nutritious.
Yeah, yes, definitely. But yeah, I think that this picture is something that has been used a million times. I also have been using this in different occasions, but still, and usually this is something that is being used in data side of things. That hey, you need to take care of your data in Demystify, but the same thing goes for identities. So Microsoft, of course, takes care that the layer Entra works technically in the background, but it is companies need to take account how the identities are working, managed, how they are. Do they have any for example, timeline when they are created, when they are deleted, for example. So this is everything that organization needs to do. So Microsoft provides the technology, but just as in data, also the identities is something that organizations need to take care of. And this is actually really interesting that so Agent ID is now in Entra, and there is something you can do, but this is quite interesting that actually I had the same demo. When did we have the last agent webinar?
Maybe 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and things have been changing a really lot in here. So for example, if you look at this screenshot here, that there is agent identities, agent registry, and so on. These are gone now. You don't have any more agent registry in Entra because it's part of Agent 65 now. So things are really moving really fast here, but still we have, of course, we were discussing Entra, we have, of course, tools to manage agent identities there. And maybe we could go to the demo side of things. Risto, would you kindly show me how do I get to that demo side? Okay. And yes, excellent. Thank you. So here we are in the Entra ID admin center, and now we have here, we can find among other things, users, groups. These are the old stuff here, but we also have agents here. And as said, this has a little bit dwindled down from the last webinar, but we still have some things that we can do here. So agent blueprints, for example, gives us a blueprints. For example, Annika, you said that we might have owners, agents, and so on. So blueprints, for example, gives us tools that, for example, if I create a blueprint, for example, the blueprint could, for example, give owners, sponsors for agents. We can do a little bit thing blueprints. Actually, let's go one back here. For example, if I start creating blueprint here, okay, let's just say that it's a test. And if I go one here, I can, for example, say that, okay, now we're logged in with your account. So it would be the basic owner would be Annika, but we could, for example, change it. So this blueprint gives different owners and sponsors for here. So this is one thing that we can a little bit give blueprints how the agents are created, but of course we also have agent identities here, and we can see the existing identities. So these agents that we see here have identities in our organizations. I think this we have done, for example, here.
Cake machine.
Yeah, I have a cake factory for some reason in my organization. I don't know why, but maybe it has something. Yeah. But yeah, for example, I can manage these identities here. I could give properties, owners, different roles in here, so I can manage the agent through here. But yeah, lots of stuff has been changing in the past weeks in the Agent 65. So this has been a little bit dwindled down in the importance of things. But of course, one thing is good to know, because these are identities, we can also have conditional access policies. So if you manage the conditional access policies in your organization, this is more of technical stuff. So this tells who can do what in what terms in the organization. So usually these are used to manage users and devices who can log in from where, for example, to my. But it's good to know that today you can start using policies also in agents. So as we can see today, it says that users or agents preview. So usually this has been users and devices, but nowadays agents are also something that you can do here. So you can, for example, say here that, hey, let's start managing agents. Let's say that, for example, all agents right now here. We can tell that what target resources are we managing here, what resources can use, for example, different conditions for that. Okay, now it's just agent risk right now, but I think this is also advancing. And what we can do is that we can say that if something, some areas are not good, then we can, for example, block access for the agent. But I think this is also something that is going to advance in the future. But we can have some conditional access management for the agents as of today. But let's not do any conditional access policies today. So let's just jump back from there. But hey, I think that was the side of agents. Let's see, did I have anything else here? Well, yeah, of course. If we don't start managing agents, then of course we need to know the risks. So, for example, of course, well, what we have been discussing here is that the loss of control, too broad privileges, unattended agents, shadow AI agent sprawl. So these are of course something that we need to take account with agents. And if we don't have any management for them, including identity management, then of course these risks can be quite heavy in organizations. Luckily, we have lots of stuff that we can do today.
That's correct. Hey, let's thank you, Janne. Let's actually have a poll now. Just a second. We have prepared another one. What are your big concerns as agents become more widespread? So please take a moment to click in and give your opinion.
Also, really interesting question.
And this is again this one is answer. Also, you can consider order one option. Soon we will show and share the results. What is interesting? Answers are still coming.
Yeah, let's give it a second.
Yeah.
Okay, now I think it's slowing down.
Okay, let's show the results now. So as we see, not really unexpected that data security and unauthorized access. I think this is something we did a bit similar study for a Finnish kind of, let's say, management not so long ago, and the results were close to 80% there.
So it's a clear winner, and I don't wonder.
Yes. Accountability, monitoring errors, that is quite strongly seen as an issue. Regulatory compliance, yes. Now, for example, every time we do agents, we do this accordance with the EU Act and are compliant there. It's some organizations either typically know to ask or they don't necessarily know to ask. Important aspect to understand. And of course, the shadow AI, it is quite high. Naturally, nobody answered that we don't see any risks, which is
so no fine and dandy also here.
Not dandy, dandy here. All right. Let's go back to that now. Last, the best practices. What do you recommend?
We are getting at the end of things, and of course, maybe a few things about the governance of agents. So of course that we have been discussing that things are moving forward in such a speed that of course we need to stay in the development. So of course governance models must evolve with agent capabilities. I think this can be really hard to stay in the speed how the things are going forward. But of course governance is something that you need to take into account anyway. Work IQ, data acquisition agents. Well, of course, I don't know if you have anything for this, but of course, how the data is handled, classified, and so on, and all the tools that we were looking at or discussing about Purview, Defender, and so on in Microsoft ecosystem are something that you can use for this.
Yeah, and it's important to take those into use if you haven't done like continuously train the employees, because it's something I see typically is not necessarily doing, unfortunately. So they don't classify the data, and if somebody can access, so can typically agents as well.
Yeah, and I think that after the Copilot was released, I think that the use of Purview, for example, has been exploded. And it's really a good thing because it brings you lots of compliance tools, but of course just an AI management tool. There's lots of different features that you can use, but for example, Copilot AI is something that you can manage the compliance with Purview, for example, also. Well, of course, MCP services, external integrations. Well, okay, yeah. So where you can integrate agent, what external data they can use, of course, really important question.
Yeah, MCP is, basically you give the agent typically the possibility to not only read but write to external services. So it is important to kind of govern how that happens. I have visibility to that, which agents can have access to.
Yeah. And of course, agent for multiple platforms. I think this is also something that is on the rise on even in the Microsoft 365. So now people are getting accustomed to the basic agents that you use in Microsoft 365 Copilot. But if you have been looking at agent store, is it called, in the agents, you can also see different third-party agents there. Of course, you need to use the product if it's some licensed tool that is agent is offered for you, but of course this is also something that you can use agents for multiple platforms or connecting to multiple platforms,
which is of course like if you think from agent 365 point of view, it is good that it doesn't show only the Microsoft environment agent, but it also shows the agents environment.
But yeah, nowadays that everybody is on the AI train, and basically every software vendor is doing their own age or AI features or agents into products, and of course this is something that needs to be found, that how the AI is working in different products, for example. And yeah, of course this is really huge. This brings lots of different work and things that need to be taken into account, but of course we need to start somewhere. So, for example, defining agent governance settings, things that we will look today, for example, is a good start, especially if you have that paid agent already used, then just start using it and make those different views and settings in this agent 365. Then, of course, secure adoption is something. I think this is also quite important. Just like when we started using, for example, cloud solutions, there was a lot of discussion about shadow IT, because if organizations say that, hey, we don't use any cloud solutions here, well, the users knew that there was a cloud solutions, and they started using Dropbox, Google Drive, and so on. And on the surface, it looked like that. Okay, nobody's using a cloud organization. All is dandy, yeah. But then there was that shadow AI beneath the surface, that everybody was using their own personal stuff. I think this is the same in the AI, that if now we just close the doors and say that, hey, nobody's using AI, I can promise you they are using AI in the form of or another.
It's really important I want to highlight this, to give the employees possibility, be open about it. If you don't have it now, when and what needs to happen, because I I'm constantly in discussion with organizations that don't necessarily give that possibility to either all of the staff or part of the staff, and it will kick back, unfortunately, in a negative way.
Yeah, using Microsoft 365, then why not use the Copilot chat? It's free to use. So why not give it to users? Because then you get a controlled and scalable use you have some possibility to do some compliance features and security features in there, rather than they're just using something personal decision of their own. Of course, well, this is a Power Platform governance, but governance anyways, once again, purview, DLP policies, what Copilot can use, for example. Do we want to, for example, if we use data labeling, for example, some high security labeled data, can it be accessed through AI, for example, lifecycle management and so on? Really important stuff to think about in the terms of AI. And then, of course, I don't know if Annika, you have something to say for this, but of course the data foundation and what kind of data you have stored in your organization is of course important.
Yeah, I think the SharePoint is very popular data source for agents. So, and the SharePoint environments are huge, and there is very much stuff we don't even know what we have here. There is an oversharing risk, and there is some broken links. So SharePoint Advanced Management is very good. Scan your SharePoint environment for good agents.
Yeah, and I think this is something that most people don't know, that if you have even one Copilot for Microsoft 365 license in your organization, you can start using SharePoint Advanced Management. That is a tip of a day, so you can start using that also. And of course, if you have everything imported starting from the early 2000s, the data in your SharePoint, then of course there can be lots of outdated data that isn't anymore important for the organization, but Copilot can find it, for example. And yeah, data protection implementation, we discussed about this already. And of course, really important stuff is to train the end users. This means this doesn't mean that you give the PDF for the user and say that, hey, now we are AI company, and wonder why nobody's using AI. Because this is a big change. This is a change management program. This changes the way we work. So it's just not a news announcement and one PDF that, hey, start using AI. This requires a lot of training for the end users, that they know how to use AI efficiently and securely.
I would almost put it on top of the list. Like if you came from a big.
This is one of those last but not least kind of stuff.
Yes, definitely. And I see it. I think with Annika as well, we see it in the trainings that the variety of know-how that is it's a reality, and kind of we have the responsibility to train also the people who haven't had that much kind of interaction with AI, because there are these people.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Maybe the few moments to ask the questions, and then I'd like to also highlight the next webinar. Unfortunately, it will be the first version, at least for Finnish. So how to scale the agent from these proof of concepts into real production. So something I recommend to sign up. We will also give a link to that in the kind of thank you email that we'll send. Also a reminder that if you and when you get the email with the recording of this webinar, do share it internally as well. I'm sure you have business decision makers who need to be aware of this, I would say, rather important topic. As we discussed, it's not only IT's responsibility. I would say it's not almost at all IT's responsibility. It's important to understand the governance, what all aspects of it to the management as well, and the business leaders. Hey, one thing that I think we can cover. So we talked about this Agent 365. So what is that automatically enabled? Can we quickly cover that what organizations need to buy?
Well, it requires a license, of course. And well, this is quite new, so I'm not 100% sure of all the bells and whistles in there. But if I understand correctly, buying even one license enables the agents to justify in the organization,
Yes.
but that's not enough. So you need to license, and now just this needs to be checked. But if I remember correctly, it needs to be licensed to every users who manage or create or was it even benefit from them? Yeah,
and use agents. Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, anyone.
I think it's going to change.
Not necessarily end users.
Yes,
Not
yes.
if you're just using. You don't need
Yeah.
agent 365. But if you're like power creator, the
Yeah.
teams, maybe the person within a team that is the most technical who is creating them, and then the IT definitely needs
The management level
Yeah.
especially needs that. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So this is recommended. Of course, it's coming with this newly announced E7 license, but you can purchase it separately as well.
Yeah, but check the facts because things are changing in such a way that we can give all information even here. But even if it's a really brand new product, but things are moving so fast, so even things checked yesterday could be old today.
Yeah, and Build is coming in a few weeks, so Microsoft's big event. So try to keep that in mind. Check the social media, follow maybe Innofactor, follow us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of interesting updates there as well.
All right, but I think that we are getting at the end of this, and we don't have any questions, comments, if I see correctly.
Yeah.
So I think that we were crystal clear today. So everything is just clear.
Cool.
Okay, but hey, thank you everybody for joining, and I think we'll see you next time. Any last words?
Thank you.
Oh,
Kiitos. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.